Hello and welcome to the Nature's Academy video tutorial on how to download data from the Citizen Science database and create a bar graph. A couple ways to get to this page. You can navigate to our homepage, naturesacademy.org, select Citizen Science database, it'll pull this up. You can also click the link in the description box below this video. A little bit about the database itself. We are part of a partnership with two other organizations at the time of this video recording. The Gulf of Mexico Coastal Ocean Observing System manages all of the data. And our partner, the Galveston Bay Foundation, right over here in the Galveston area, they provide data in addition to Nature's Academy data. We'll come up here to get data in order to get started. Select Nature's Academy. It narrows it down to just our data. You can see in this map view where the data comes from geographically. Your program is represented somewhere along this stretch of the western coast. Now here there are filters on either side. That's what we'll be using to narrow down our data from 995 data points. We're going to select Coquina Bayside and Coquina Bayside Lefis Key. They come from the same location, they were just called different things when the data was uploaded. Now we're going to be looking at litter data, and we want to collect a full year of data, represent a full year. As of this video recording, we have not finished 2018 just yet, so we're going to select on 2017. We want the most up-to-date data. Scrolling down in the database window, you see the data table. This is what automatically populates when you use those filters above, but it only shows 10 rows at a time, so we're going to fix that. Click on Show 10 Rows, come down to Show All. Now these fields here, we actually only need the date column, so we're going to click on Column Visibility, deselect Site. Because we used our filters, we know they're all from Coquina. Now deselect Air Temp and all these water quality parameters. The only other one we need is litter in kilograms. We're going to click on that one. All right. Now we're going to save as XLSX. That's an Excel spreadsheet. And click to open. Because we know this is from a secure source, we're going to select Enable Editing. All right, so here it's a little bit crazy. All the dates are kind of all over the place. So we're going to fix that, make it easier for us for our next steps. Highlight both columns here, A and B. Make sure you're clicking right up here in the A and B part to highlight all of the data. Come over to Sort and Filter, sort A to Z, or in this case, sort from January down to December in order. A quick scroll shows that our filter worked. So we'll be looking at the average amount of litter collected at Coquina Bayside during our Nature's Academy programs. But unfortunately, Excel can't read all of this information and won't be able to figure out what we want. So we're going to create a table for it, kind of meet the technology in the middle. So we're going to call this average litter. That's our second column, and our first column will be month. I like to bold the titles here. We're going to type in January, and then we're going to calculate the average litter using equal average and parentheses. So Excel has a really neat feature where you can do formulas, and they have all sorts. Average is one of the more basic ones, and it does exactly what it says. It takes the average of some given values. Now, how it knows what to calculate is from these parentheses. So you can see here in the example, parenthesis here, close parentheses, these are the numbers that Excel is going to take the average of. So we just want the cells for January, so we'll look at our date column, highlight the corresponding litter, close parenthesis, and it calculates. So we can click here, we can actually check and see these highlighted cells, and that shows us what the average is being calculated from. It does leave out the blanks, so we don't have to worry about that. One thing I like to do is I like to round everything to the 10th place, keep it nice and consistent. Then we'll go to February. Don't forget that first R in February, as I tend to do. Equals average. You can type out the whole word. You can also double click and Excel will fill it in for you. Again, open parenthesis, find our February values, scooch down our cells there, close parenthesis. 1.3. So go ahead and pause this video, continue on in this way. When you get down to March, you'll notice that there are about 4 months missing in the data. We don't need to calculate the averages for those. We also don't need to represent them on our graph because we don't have any data for those months. So again, continue in that way until we get to December. Right, so we have calculated the averages for all of these months into a table that, again, Excel can read. We're going to highlight all of our cells. Oops, all of our cells, please. There we go. Come up to Insert. This is the part where we will insert our bar graph. Here's your charts section. You can pick from a scatter plot, a pie chart, this one, what's this one? Area chart, whatever that is. If you'd like to use that, you can give it a whirl. We're going to actually use this function called recommended charts. And this is when Excel looks at your data and it tries to predict what you want it to show. And the first option was bar graph, so we must have done a good job populating our table. I like to click and drag, get this out of the way here. This chart elements feature has lots of different elements that you can add to the chart. Go figure. While that loads, we're actually going to change our title here. Average litter at Coquina Bayside. You're welcome to call it whatever you like. There we go. We're going to click on Axis Titles. Our x-axis are the months, and this is average litter in kilograms. I can close this out so you can see our chart a little better. And we're done. That is our basic bar graph using Excel, using a data set from the Citizen Science database. Lots of different features on Excel. You can change the axis by going to Axis Options. If you double click on the vertical value axis, it'll pop this up. You can also edit the axis here. You can change the color. Up here in Chart Tools, change the color, change the design. If you want it to be dark, if you want it to be little squigglies, you can make that happen. But again, your base graph is done. Thank you for joining me today, and keep an eye out for more videos on how to access data from the Citizen Science database and create different types of charts using different types of data. If you or your students use this in the classroom, please let us know. Send us the student projects. We love to see what they come up with.